All right, let's take a look at the AEW Dark special that aired on 11/06 on Friday, the day before AEW Full Gear. First up, we had Big Swole defeated Tesha Prince. Matt Sydal defeated Christopher Daniels. Brandon Cutler gets another win over Michael Nakazawa. Frankie Kazarian did a little backstage interview talking stuff. Griff Garrison defeated Ariel Dominguez. That's Griff Garrison's first win. Is he getting signed to a contract? After the match, Jake Roberts and Lance Archer came out talking all sorts of smack. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson defeated Sean Maluta and Ryzine. Ricky Starks defeated Trevor Reed. And Chuck Taylor defeated Lee Johnson. And that is a wrap for AEW Dark Special. We have the results for AEW Full Gear. This is a great pay-per-view put on by AEW. First, you had the buy-in, Serena Deeb versus Allison Kay. And honestly, out of the women's matches for the night, I felt that this one was the better of the women's matches for the night. Winner, no shocker here, Serena Deeb. I gave this grade a 3, which is pretty high for me for women's matches in AEW. At the end of the match, Thunder Rosa came out talking some smack. So is this an NWA thing or is this a AEW thing? We'll find out. We'll just have to stay tuned. That was an interesting little twist. I'd like to see Thunder Rosa in AEW, though. Next up, we had the AEW Eliminator match, Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. And what was interesting about this is Don Callis from Impact Wrestling, an EVP there, helped call the match. So you had NWA represented, you had Impact Wrestling represented, and I felt that it was kind of funny. I posted on Twitter that the world is coming together because Impact Wrestling and NWA are on an AEW pay-per-view, and this is good for business. This is good for everybody doing it this way because that's what WWE has not done, where AEW is trying to do. And I think this is a good idea because it just gets interest in wrestling. There's other places AEW fans will be AEW fans, but if something's going on with NWA, I might check up NWA, and that just builds wrestling up. So I think it's a good idea. AEW World Championship Eliminator Final, we got Hangman Adam Page versus Kenneth Omega. My pick here was Kenneth Omega, and the winner, Kenny Omega. I gave this one a 4. This was a fantastic match at the beginning, clearly. It was the first match of the night. This was my elite match of the night. However, that changed later on. I picked Kenny Omega all along. It makes sense to have Kenny the Cleaner make a run in AEW for the champion. I think Kenny Omega deserves to wear that belt for a while in AEW. Moxley's been good. He's basically fought everybody. I think it's time for a switch with Kenny Omega. We'll see how that goes. But yes, winner, Kenny Omega. And excited to see what transpires with him going forward. In the singles match, Orange Cassidy versus John Silver. At first, I think people were like, this match will be okay. Actually, it was a fantastic match. Orange Cassidy's the winner. I gave this a 3.75. John Silver pulling out some power moves that I tweeted about, and he actually even liked it on the Twitter. But this was a great match. Cassidy with the win, 3.75. If you want to check this out, I was like, wow, I was really impressed. Not only, Orange Cassidy has been great, but John Silver really put on a show. And I really thought maybe he was kind of the jobber type, but he clearly has been making a name for himself, and he definitely made a name for himself in this match. Winner, I had Cassidy winning this one, and I was right there. TNT Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. Welcome home, Cody Rhodes, not Cody. I guess he is going by the name Cody Rhodes from now on, because that's what Justin Roberts said. Winner and new TNT champion, Darby Allin. I gave this match a 4. This was a fantastic match. I had told you people, this was the only one where I thought maybe it could switch hands, and I was right. Darby Allin is your new TNT champion, and will he defend the title every week? Will be interesting to see how he goes. We know who he's feuding with next because Brian Cage and Ricky Starks jumped Darby and Cody, and so there you have what's going to happen next. And I think you'll get Ricky Starks Darby at AEW Revolution in February as I think that should be the match. Get the two young guys out there. The Natural Nightmares talk about their match next week against the Butcher and the Blade. It will be a bunkhouse match, whatever that is. Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose. This one did not impress me. Winner Hikaru Shida. I gave this a 2.75. I thought Nyla Rose was sloppy in this match, if anything. I don't know if she got the wind knocked out of her or what, but I was not impressed with Nyla Rose. I felt that she was slow. Hikaru Shida was good, but it just wasn't as good as the Serena Deeb, Allison Kay match. This probably was the worst match of the night. Yeah, and I put it on Nyla Rose. Just didn't seem like she had anything going on there. AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR versus the Young Bucks, the big match that everybody was talking about, years in the making. Winner and your new tag team champions, the Young Bucks. I gave this a 4.50. This was my elite match of the night. At first, I was like, this is okay. And just as it kept building, and the storytelling, and Matt Jackson's injury, and hurt hands, and just all sorts of stuff going on, this was definitely a great match. And this is up there as one of the best matches of the year, as it should be. It definitely delivered. There's no question about that. And your new tag champions, the Young Bucks. I figured that the Young Bucks would win this one just because, but this one I was unsure. I think I picked the Young Bucks on this one. So winner, the Young Bucks. Congratulations to them, as they are now your new tag team champions, deservedly so. Next up, the Elite Deletion match, Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. Got some Santana Ortiz, Private Party, Shane Hurricane Helms, and Gangrel appeared during the match. I thought maybe that the reason why Cassidy and Silver got moved to the main show was maybe because this didn't come out as well. I was wrong. This came out really good. Just Matt Hardy, this like jumping around different characters, like just be the creepy Matt Hardy. Like, stop trying to be like how I'm friends with Private Party, and then the next minute I'm like crazy Matt Hardy. Like, it's just confusing for your character. Stick to what worked for you, what people want to see now that there's a crowd to bounce energy off of with the whole delete stuff. Just stick with that character. Just get into that character and just be that character. Don't try to be like, I'm old school Matt Hardy. I'm money Matt Hardy. Like, you're confused. Just stick with what works, what's worked over the last couple years. Because the old Matt Hardy didn't work in WWE, it's not going to work here. Winner of the match, Matt Hardy, gave this a 3.75. This was a great match, a lot of fun to watch. Sammy Guevara, again, taking the big pumps, as always. You knew he was. And Matt Hardy gets the win again, closing this thing out. I'm not really sure what we're going to do with Matt Hardy going forward. But I think this was a great, fun match to watch, too. Lance Archer checks in. He's going to beat everybody up. We all know that's coming. So it's good to see him to get a push. Next up, the singles. If MJF wins, he can join the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho versus MJF. Chris Jericho is his wrestling days are starting to wane. I mean, he's not that great in the ring. He's not that great, exciting to watch. He's a great character and everything else. But he's definitely not somebody that he just looks totally out of shape. I know he has said that he's just doing that so he looks like the everyman. But he just looks kind of slow, and I don't know what the deal is. This match, it was back and forth, and winner, MJF, and now he can join the Inner Circle. I gave this one a 3.50 just because I thought Jericho's in the ring stuff is kind of getting weak a little bit. Just me, but MJF, now this really brings an interesting dynamic to the Inner Circle. Could we be seeing the end of the Inner Circle? Maybe that it's had its run and they want to move on. I mean, as a heel faction in the group, it helped in the first year, and maybe the second year. I think they're trying to mix things up as we go forward. AEW announced Revolution will take place Saturday, February 27th. Excited about that. And finally, the last match of the night, Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. I Quit match. Again, Eddie has in better shape than he was before. But still, he's just a different style. He's just kind of a grinded out, like hardcore kind of wrestling match. This was a good match. Winner, Jon Moxley. I give this a 3.5. Again, I think the last two matches were kind of had a lost steam. but this was still a good match. I mean, it was definitely. I'm just not a big into the blood and guts aspect of wrestling, and those matches. It just doesn't do anything for me. But this match definitely delivered. I mean, Eddie Kingston did well. I mean, they both did well. It's just the barbed wire and the tacks, like, and the fake blood. Just that just really doesn't do it for me. That's just me. But overall, this was probably one of the best pay-per-views I've seen from them. I would rank it as one of their best of all time, from top to bottom, across the board. Everybody was saying it was a great pay-per-view. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go see it. Again, AEW delivers. I can't tell you how many times I watched a WWE pay-per-view and left always disappointed. That's why I stopped covering WWE and I cover AEW because it's fun, and that's what it's supposed to be at the end of the day. And this was a fun pay-per-view to watch.